Nils and Kate meet Nice and Bataclan victims, as the second day of their Paris tour is overshadowed by terror attack at the city's Orly airport. The Duke and Duchess of Cambridge are today going about their planned schedule in Paris despite a shooting at the city's Orly airport. The royal couple met with victims of the Nice and Bataclan terror attacks, as well as World War II veterans at the famous Les Invalides military hospital. They then visited the Impressionists gallery at the Musée d'Orsay, and will later head to the Stade de France to watch Wales play France in the Six Nations Rugby. The couple will be flying back to the UK early this evening by private jet. Although all flights to and from Orly have been suspended after a shooting, a Kensington Palace spokesman said their plans to leave Paris were unchanged. It is understood that the couple had always intended to use a different airport. The Duke and Duchess arrived for their first engagement today in the center of the city on time this morning, and there was no obvious sign of increased security. Kate was wearing a chic Chanel suit, a choice bound to delight fashionistas, in muted shades of black, gray and burgundy, with her hair loose, courtesy of her personal hairdresser, Amanda Tucker, who is traveling with her. On her feet were a favorite pair of block-heeled burgundy taught shoes, a more practical choice for the Paris couples than her normal high heels. William and Kate were first visiting Les Invalides, an iconic French military hospital in the heart of the city. They learnt about the important historic and current roles of the site, in particular its work supporting veterans undergoing rehabilitation programs. The Duke and Duchess also met victims and emergency service teams from the Bataclan and Nice terror attacks. The Duke and Duchess of Cambridge rekindled their shared love of art today when they visited Paris's iconic Musée d'Orsay. The couple first met when they both studied history of art at St Andrews University in Scotland, although William later switched to geography, and were keen to visit the museum, which houses the largest collection of Impressionist masterpieces in the world. In a tender moment, William and Kate even looked out onto the world's most romantic city through the face of a giant clock. The couple toured the gallery on the second day of their two-day visit to Paris. It remained open to the public throughout, prompting gasps from tourists who crowded round to take pictures and videos of the royals on their phones. Home to some of the greatest works of French and European art produced in the 19th and 20th centuries, they had specifically asked to see some of Claude Monet's most famous paintings, including one of his Water Lilies series, painted in 1904. The French Impressionist painted around 250 oil paintings of the flower garden at his home in Giverny, which were the main focus of his artistic output during the last 30 years of his life. The couple were also shown other Monet masterpieces, including his 1873 work Au Coilicots or Wild Poppies and his Parasol paintings from 1886 titled, Essai de figure en plein air femme à l'ombre. They stopped to take a close look at London, Houses of Parliament, which was inspired by Monet's 1871 visit to London when he was struck by the effects of fog on the Thames. William, 34, asked director Lawrence Stakars, "This is one of his most famous paintings, isn't it?" The 1904 masterpiece will go on loan to the Tate Britain later this year as part of an exhibition called, The Impressionists in London. The couple were also shown Monet's La Rue Montorgueil at Paris, the 1878 painting of a street which the Queen visited during her 2004 tour of France. Art enthusiast Kate, 35, who graduated with a 2:1 in 2005, asked lots of questions, particularly about Edouard Manet's Olympia, a nude painted in 1863. Seemingly unfazed by the topless scene, William pointed to a black cat in the picture and was told it was a tongue-in-cheek addition. Another painting that caught their eye was Gustave Caillebott's Raboteurs de Parquet, 1875, featuring half-naked men sanding a floor by hand. A keen photographer, Kate has been patron of the National Portrait Gallery in London since 2012 and is also patron of a charity called the Art Room, which encourages disadvantaged children to express themselves through artistic endeavors. Kate once said, "I am a firm believer in the power of art to make a difference." William, whose father and grandfather are both keen artists, also studied history of art before switching to geography. It is thought that Kate's support in convincing him to switch subjects rather than quit university altogether is what first drew them together. Situated on the left bank of the Seine, The Musée d'Orsay is houses in the former Gare d'Orsay, a Beaux Arts railway station built between 1898 and 1900. It holds mainly French art dating from 1848 to 1914, including works by Monet, Manet, Degas, Renoir, Cézanne, Gauguin and Van Gogh. Having been used as a railway station for more than 80 years, the decision was taken to close it down because its platforms were deemed too short for modern trains. In 1970 permission was granted to demolish the building, but after an 8-year row it was finally placed on the list of historic monuments, and former French President Georges Pompidou gave the go-ahead for it to be turned into an art gallery. It opened in 1986, with its original clocks remaining as a reminder of its transport heritage. A man was shot dead at Paris Orly Airport this morning after taking a soldier's gun and fleeing into a shop, taking aim at soldiers. Less than 2 hours earlier, 3 police officers were shot at in a suburb in northern Paris by a gunman during a routine stop-and-search operation. Police now believe the shooting in the northern Paris suburb of Stains, which left 1 officer injured, was carried out by the man who was later killed. After fleeing the scene, the man stole a woman's car at gunpoint,